Across 3 centuries, one family wielded more financial power than most nations, turning information into gold and wars into profit. From a cramped ghetto where they couldn't even own land, they rose to bankroll empires and literally changed the course of history. Here's what it was really like to build the world's most powerful banking dynasty. Quick thing before we start, if you actually listen to these regularly, hit like or subscribe. I always wonder where everyone's at, so comment your city and what time it is. Weird to think some of you are having breakfast in London while I'm recording this at night here in the States. Alright, let's head back to 1760s Frankfurt, Germany. Trust me, it's gonna be quite a ride. But first, get comfortable. Seriously, adjust those pillows, pull up that blanket, because where we're going, you're gonna want to be cozy. Picture this, you're waking up in the Frankfurt Jewish ghetto. Not like your soft mattress right now, you're on a thin straw pallet that's seen better days, probably better years actually, and the first thing that hits you isn't the light creeping through the shutters, it's the smell. The alley outside your window is basically an open-air second-hand market mixed with a dumpster. Shops have spilled heaps of old clothes and soiled household goods into the narrow streets. The smell of unwashed wool, rotting vegetables, and too many people crammed into too little space. It's thick. You can taste it. Every morning starts like this. Your name is Maya Amschel Rothschild, though nobody's calling you a banking titan yet. Right now, you're just another guy trying to make it in a system designed to keep you down. Frankfurt Jews can't own land, can't farm, can't work in handicrafts, can't even deal in the good stuff like weapons, silk, or fresh fruit. Those are all off limits, so you do what your family does. You trade textiles, and you hate it. Not the work itself, really. It's the profit margins. They're terrible. You're moving bales of fabric that weigh more than you do, dealing with merchants who look down on you, and at the end of the day, you've made maybe enough to keep the lights on and food on the table. Maybe. This isn't the path to wealth. This is the path to doing the same thing your whole life and dying in the same cramped ghetto where you were born. There has to be a better way. You know there is. You've seen the Christian merchants, the ones who can trade in luxury goods, the ones who have connections to the courts and the nobles. They're not smarter than you. They just have access, and access, you're starting to realize, is everything. So you pivot, you start dealing in gold coins and antiques. Now we're talking. The profit margins here, way better. A rare coin can fetch 10 times what you paid for it if you find the right buyer. An antique from the right period, even more. You've got an eye for this stuff. You can spot a fake from across the room. You know value when you see it. And here's the thing, when you're dealing in gold coins, you start meeting a different class of people, not the textile merchants haggling over pennies. Real money, old money, noble money. One day, you catch a break that changes everything. You become a court agent for Prince William of Hesse Castle. Think of a court agent as basically an 18th century stockbroker, except instead of stocks you're dealing in gold coins, art and whatever else the rich folks want to buy. Prince William has money, stupid amounts of money, the kind of wealth that makes your head spin when you start calculating the numbers. Here's how it works. Prince William wants to buy some gold coins for his collection. He's not going to go down to the market himself, that's beneath him. So he tells you to go get them. You're his guy, his agent, his broker. And this is where you have a brilliant, slightly shady, absolutely genius idea. You take the prince's money, sure, but first you go to the market and buy the coins yourself using borrowed money. Then you turn around and sell those same coins to Prince William. You're acting as both the buyer and the seller, the middleman on both ends of the deal. This is called front running, and it's about as legal as you'd expect, which is to say not very, but nobody's checking, nobody cares. The prince gets his coins, you get paid twice. First, you collect your 8% commission fee for being his agent. That's the legitimate money, the money everyone can see. But second, and this is the beautiful part, you make money on the spread. You bought the coins for one price, sold them to the prince for another. The difference? Pure profit. And the prince has no idea you're doing this because you're the one telling him what the market price is. You're making money coming and going on every single transaction. The commission alone would be nice, but the front running, that's where the real wealth is building. And you do this over and over, year after year. Every time Prince William wants gold coins or art or anything really, you're running the same play. Buy it first with borrowed money, sell it to him at a markup, collect your commission on top. You're profiting twice on every deal, and the money is piling up faster than you ever imagined back when you were hauling textile bales through the ghetto. By 1782, you're not just comfortable, you're rich, really rich. So rich that Prince William makes you his official investment manager. Think about that for a second. The Jewish guy from the ghetto who couldn't legally own land is now managing the investment portfolio of one of the wealthiest princes in Germany. The kid who was trading second-hand clothes in the smelly alley is now being trusted with millions. But here's the thing about you, Mayor. It's never enough. That's not greed talking. Well, maybe it is a little, but it's more than that. You're thinking long-term, generational. You don't just want to be rich. You want to create something that lasts, a legacy, a dynasty, the kind of family name that echoes through history. Being a trader, even a wildly successful one, has a ceiling. There's only so much you can do, only so much wealth you can accumulate. But banking is where the real power lives. Banks don't just make money, they create it, they move it, they control the flow of capital across cities, countries, continents. Banks finance wars and rebuild nations. Banks are how nobility becomes obsolete and money becomes the only nobility that matters. So you become a bank, not overnight. It's a process. You're building relationships, establishing credit, proving you can be trusted with other people's money. Slowly, methodically, you transform from mayor the coin dealer to mayor the banker. And by the close of the 1700s, you're the richest man in Frankfurt. But Frankfurt is still a ghetto. It's still Germany. It's still limited. You're the biggest fish in a very small pond, and you know it. You've hit the ceiling of what's possible here. To really build something permanent, something that survives you, you need to think bigger, way bigger. You've got 5 sons, 5 smart, ambitious, hungry sons who've watched you build this empire from nothing, and you've got a plan for them. A crazy, audacious, borderline insane plan that requires them to leave home and spread across Europe. You're going to send 4 of them to the great capital cities: Vienna, Naples, Paris, and the crown jewel, the center of the financial universe, London. One son stays with you in Frankfurt to maintain the home base, but the other 4, they're your ambassadors, your outposts, your network. Each one will establish their own banking house in their city, but they won't compete with each other. They'll work together, they'll share information, they'll move money between cities faster than anyone else can. They'll create a financial spiderweb across Europe with the Rothschild family sitting at the center of every strand. Your 3rd son, Nathan, is the one you're sending to London. And Nathan is special. He's got your business sense, but with an edge. He's fierce, ambitious, quick to take offense, and even quicker to strike back. Some people are going to love him. Most are going to hate him. You don't care. What matters is that he's capable, more than capable. He might even be better at this than you are. You give him £20,000. In today's money, that's serious capital, multiple millions. It's a fortune, but you expect him to turn it into 10 fortunes, and if anyone can do it, it's Nathan. London in the early 1800s is the centre of everything. Great Britain is a global superpower. The British Navy rules the seas. Nobody even comes close. The Industrial Revolution is transforming the economy. Britain is becoming the world's factory. Goods are being manufactured faster and cheaper than ever before. The financial sector, centred in London, is robust and growing. The Bank of England has been around since 1694, and London has become the beating heart of global finance. If you want to play in the big leagues, you go to London, and that's exactly where Nathan is headed. The pressure on Nathan is immense. He's not just representing himself, he's representing the family, the Rothschilds name, your life's work. Everything you've built, he can feel the weight of it. Every decision he makes, every deal he closes or fumbles, reflects on the family, on you, on the legacy you're trying to create. And Nathan does not do well with pressure from others, but pressure on himself? That's different. That drives him. That makes him dangerous. He arrives in London with his £20,000 and immediately starts looking for opportunities. The London textile industry is booming. Small workshops and factories are popping up everywhere, producing cotton, silk, wool, everything. There's money to be made here, but the competition is fierce. Everyone's trying to grab a piece. Nathan sees the game differently. Most merchants are focused on one part of the supply chain. You've got the guys who source raw materials, the guys who dye the fabrics, the guys who manufacture the finished goods. Everyone's specialized, everyone's making one profit. Nathan wants 3 profits. He goes to the manufacturers with a proposal. He'll supply them with both the raw materials and the dye. They just handle the manufacturing and give him the finished goods. He's essentially vertical integration before that term even exists. He controls 3 steps of the process, which means he captures 3 separate profit margins. The manufacturers love it because it simplifies their lives. They don't have to source materials or dyes, they just manufacture. Nathan loves it because he's making money at every stage. He's buying raw materials cheap, selling them to manufacturers at a markup. Buying dyes cheap, selling those at a markup. Then buying the finished manufactured goods and selling those to retailers. 3 profits instead of 1. According to Nathan's own account. And yeah, he's probably exaggerating a bit because that's what successful people do. He turned that £20,000 into £60,000 in just a few years. Triple his money. That's the kind of return that makes investors weep with joy. But Nathan's not satisfied with legitimate business alone. Why would he be? He learned from you. He knows the real money is in the grey areas, the places where rules are more like suggestions. He starts smuggling textiles, precious metals, anything that can be moved quietly and sold for profit. Smuggling in the early 1800s is risky but hugely profitable. The British government has tariffs and taxes on imports, especially during the Napoleonic Wars when they're trying to control trade with continental Europe. But if you can get goods past the customs officials, you can sell them for way more than they cost. Nathan develops a reputation. People know him as the guy who can get goods to the continent when nobody else can. Superior management, they call it. Good judgment, they say. Really, it's just being willing to take risks that other merchants won't, and having the connections to make those risks pay off. By 1808, Nathan's business in London is reporting sales of £800,000. That's massive. In just a few years, he's gone from a Frankfurt banker's son with £20,000 to a major player in London's financial scene. The money is rolling in, the reputation is building. He's ready for the next step. Time to become a bank. Just like his father, because trading textiles, even smuggling them, has a ceiling. Banking has no ceiling. The sky's not even the limit. The limit is how much wealth exists in the world, and in the early 1800s, that's growing every day. Nathan's plan is to build his bank bigger than his father's. He wants the London Rothschild Bank to be the flagship, the crown jewel, the one that all the others look to. And given that London is the financial capital of the world, it's not a crazy ambition. Back in Frankfurt, you're watching this unfold with pride. Your plan is working. Nathan's thriving in London. Your other sons are establishing themselves in their cities. The network is forming. The web is being woven. Everything you dreamed of is starting to become real. But you're getting old. Your health is deteriorating. You can feel it. The energy that used to carry you through 14-hour days is fading. Your body is reminding you that you're mortal, that time is running out, that everything you've built needs to survive without you. By 1812, you know the end is coming soon. You gather your sons and give them the most important lesson, the one that matters more than any business advice, more than any financial strategy. Family unity comes first, above all else, always. You've seen what happens to family businesses when the next generation fights over control. They splinter, they collapse, they disappear, the wealth gets divided and diluted until there's nothing left. You will not let that happen to the Rothschild name. Your sons need to work together, support each other, put the family above their individual ambitions. The banking houses in different cities can't compete. They have to cooperate, share information, move money between them seamlessly, act as one entity, even though they're separated by hundreds of miles. This is the foundation. This is what will make the Rothschild dynasty last. Not the money, not the banking skills, the family bond, the unbreakable commitment to each other. And your sons listen. They take it to heart. They promise because they've seen what you've built from nothing. They know the value of what you're giving them. They understand the responsibility. You die knowing your legacy is in good hands. Your sons will honor your memory by honoring each other. The House of Rothschild will not just survive, it will thrive, it will grow, it will become something